Meantime, new questions and growing anger over the state's response to a massive hack at the Washington State Auditor's office.
More than 1 million people had their private information exposed, and now many potential victims say state leaders failed and something needs to be done about it. Q13's Matt Lorch has spent the day digging to get us some answers. He joins us live. Matt?
Jamie and Brian, those who have filed for unemployment are absolutely fed up. I mean, first their checks were delayed, then many of them became the victims of fraud. Now their personal information may have been stolen, and they want something done about it.
It's egregious. It's, somebody should be held accountable.
Like so many in our state, construction worker Jesse Shepard has had enough.
It is a critical failure at the bureaucratic level of our state. Absolutely.
When his work shut down last March, the father of 3 from Silverdale applied for unemployment. Before he ever received it, he learned he was the victim of fraud. He says looking to reclaim the lost money, the state removed thousands of dollars from his bank account. It took almost 6 months before he got his own money back and the original unemployment payments. Now he's learned, like almost 1.5 million others in this state, his personal information may have been stolen.
It kind of, causes me to lose some faith in our government facilities. I've taken great pains to protect my identity, and I would like to see that my state would, take those same pains.
Still, I have to ask everyone, including the public, to bear with us.
That's State Auditor Pat McCarthy, a Democrat, who announced yesterday records, including people's social security numbers and banking information, were exposed, while the auditor was ironically investigating $600 million in fraudulent unemployment claims. She blamed the breach on a failure of Accellion, maker of software used by her office. Accellion has reportedly said the auditor was using a 20-year-old software that was outdated, and a software patch or fix could have prevented the breach. The auditor saying she had no indication the software was not secure. She was also pressed on why the state needed to store people's sensitive information.
As for transferring information, that's what we do.
It is failing, and that's the thing. We need to stop the failure right now with true leadership.
That's Republican state lawmaker Matt Banky, who works in cybersecurity. He says the software company only deserves part of the blame.
But it's also a wherewithal from leadership to make sure we're accountable, we're transparent in our actions, that we're showcasing we can be trusted with the people's work and the people's data.
Many of those impacted feel like responsibility runs all the way to the governor's office, who responded through a spokesperson today, saying the governor and our staff have spoken to the auditor several times and expressed his deep concern about the data that was exposed by their third-party vendor, adding, Pat McCarthy is a separately elected statewide official, and we understand that they are taking responsibility for this and doing everything they can do to address it. For those now scrambling to protect their bank accounts, that is not enough.
He needs to hold those people accountable that are in position, to oversee these things that are happening. There needs to be some accountability along the chain of command.
The state auditor's office has set up a web page for those who feel like their personal information may have been compromised. You can see it right down there at the bottom of your screen. And I just talked with a spokesperson for the auditor's office. They plan to update that with new information in the coming days. By the way, it wasn't just those who filed unemployment claims impacted by this. The auditor's office says roughly 25 state agencies and approximately 100 local governments also impacted by the Accellion breach. We're live, Matt Lorch, Q13 News.
Matt, thank you.